Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. This is Jake Knows Rugby. Jake, the floor is yours.
World-class performance. We are back. We are back, baby. England are the top of the World Cup tree. We are going to win in 2027 now after a dominant victory versus the French, not the Frogs. And they couldn't compete. They couldn't compete with the English team. And no, we let Ireland get a win. And we're coming for the Six Nations, and then we're coming for just everyone. We are back.
Jake,
Anyway,
that's what a first Test match win.
There's no way he believes that. There's no way he believes that.
It's almost like Jake predicted that England would beat France. What? Wait a second. No, he didn't. Even he didn't believe his team was going to
my heart says France. That's what his words were.
Yeah, absolute bollocks from the man down there.
If you think Aiden's got a smug look on his face, it's because he actually predicted England to win. Whether he actually believed England will win or not, that's what he predicted. So, I mean, fair enough. But before we get into that, right, Aiden, I'll get to you in a second. People, welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. We do appreciate you guys always being here. The fan forum where we just talk a bit of shit, when it comes to rugby. Just a little light banter, talking about the Six Nations that just passed. And what a beautiful weekend of rugby it was. So if you do like us talking a bit of shit when it comes to rugby, hit that follow button. Anyway, let's go. Aiden, you predicted it, but did you call it? Did you believe it?
Yeah, I did. I lost a lot of fans during the week. People were coming at me in my TikTok comments saying I've never watched a game of rugby in my life. And I think the reason is I've predicted England to come second in the Six Nations. Whoop-de-doo. Still possible. Because I predicted Ireland to come third. People don't realise Ireland could just lose one game and come third. I'm not predicting Ireland to lose to everyone and their dog for the rest of the Six Nations. I think they're a quality team. And they showed that on the weekend, by the way. But yeah, I'm happy to say I did say England would win. And I did believe it. I wasn't confident, but I believed it.
Yeah. Well, Tiernan, right? Me, I'm on the fence, right? There's two ways for me of looking at this game. One is nitty-gritty, defensive work rate, never give up mentality by England. And on the other end, I'm like, well, France will be absolutely kicking themselves because they gave away 400% try-scoring opportunities of knocking the ball with an open try line right in front of them. Obviously, if they take that opportunity, this game is not even close. I watched this game and I thought, listen, England has nothing in this game. But obviously, they came out victors. What side of those two are you on?
Well, yeah, had it not been rain, France would have won because I don't think they would have scored at least one of those tries. They might have dropped a few of them, but yeah, dropping those balls lost them the game. I don't want to say they're the better team, but they definitely could have won that game easy enough. And England, it was a fluke, bit like the win against Ireland last year. Like fluke, you win. Going to be another year until the next Tier 1 Test match victory. Like,
so you on this thing once again where they'll be celebrating this victory and then just lose the next one.
Yeah, it'll be the only thing in their trophy cabinet for the full year. A bit like the Ireland game last year. They can go to Japan a couple of times.
Jake, you thinking the same thing?
No,
do you think this is the momentum?
Tiernan doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know. Of course, we were fortunate in a few of those circumstances, but I think some credit needs to go to the sort of scramble, last-ditch defence in a couple of them. Like Finn Smith got in the way of, I think when DuPont dropped it. Then someone else, Slade in the slight home, got in the way when Mavaka did in the second half. But yeah, it's uncharacteristical, if that's a word, of the French to drop it in those positions. But if England dropped those things, you'd say, oh, that's England's attack not doing well enough. You've got to be world class and finish them.
No, not in those circumstances where it's like open try line, literally the final pass. If he catches it, he scores.
If England did that against, I don't know, New Zealand or you, and you were clinical and took your chances, and we dropped about 3, people would say, well, South Africa deserved it. You were good enough.
That's if buts maybes. You can't say that. You're basing that on absolutely nothing.
That
is fairy tales that you're talking
about. No, I'm saying it's some sort of anti-English narrative that says we didn't deserve the win. We were fortunate they made mistakes, but I think we did have a great second half.
No, you have to give credit to England. That defensive work rate was insane.
Mm. And they got round us a bit in the first half. All those opportunities came through, sort of getting round the wings. But overall, I thought we did pretty well.
Yeah, bro. In the end, you were more clinical than them. France didn't take their chances. I think they will be kicking themselves. But also, you have to give credit for that defensive work, right? Like, it was out of this world. The French team, like, I thought they're going to win by 29 points, right? If they caught those balls, could have been up there, right? But obviously, that's not the way that the game played out. Jimmy, do you have any? How surprised are you in terms of England taking it? Or do you think that it's just that team that always has a victory in them?
I think it is quite surprising to me. I think France just played nothing like I thought they would. Like I did say though at the start of the tournament, we won't get a real indicator on how France will be this year until they play in the second round, but until they have an actual challenge really. But I did predict. I actually changed my prediction from France by 10 to France by about 15 after seeing the England lineup. I thought Marcus Smith at 15 would have just destroyed England, but Finn Smith played out of his skin. He was unbelievable. I thought, like Marwood told you, I did think his decision making near the end was going to cost England, but probably just because we've seen them lose so much in big moments like that recently. But yeah, the come out and top and fair play to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, takeaways from it in terms of players, right? Aiden, we criticized the decision making of Finn Smith at 10 and Marcus Smith at 15.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I don't think Marcus was the greatest at 15, but holy shit, Finn Smith was great at 10. Like,
I mean, a
wow,
lot
he
of
played
people
out of his
say-
skin.
I think as a combination, that's elite, though. They got to stick with that, you know.
I mean, a lot of people said Marcus played woefully at 15. All he did wrong is he just couldn't kick it over the post. That's fine. I don't understand why people assume a bad game as if you have a bad game off the tee. Like, they're not related. You can have a bad kicking day and be exceptional with ball in hand. It happens. Bowden Barrett was World Player of the Year, and he couldn't kick for anything. So, and they gave the kicking duties to Finn Smith. He was great. Problem solved. I thought they were all right. Got to swallow my words. I said that would be rubbish, and it wasn't. So,
Well, do you think France
We
just
all
played
said it was
into
gonna
the
be
English hands?
yeah, they didn't kick deep at all. They didn't put him under any like defensive positional stress. I thought they were just going to bomb him with high balls and send BLBRA and Peno after him, but didn't really happen. And I thought maybe that was a mistake, but who knows? I'm not Fabien Gaultier. Maybe he had a plan. Maybe it all went tits up. Who knows? But it worked for England, and they'll be happy moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, Jake, now you're in the scenario where it's like you've got the best 10 in the world, probably on form in Marcus Smith, but Finn Smith just came off a man of the match performance. Are you like, okay, well, now the best 10 in the world can't play 10, he has to play 15 because of Finn Smith? Like, I even saw that for the Love of Rugby when they spoke about it. They were also so confused with it. But when you got another 10 putting in a performance like that, you have no right to drop Finn Smith after that performance.
I think it's a number of things. I think it helps massively that he plays Alex Mitchell every season, and that's a huge boost. The way sort of Ollie Lawrence likes to play, sort of chucking it down the middle. Finn Smith's has a better passing game than Marcus Smith. He helps people go through gaps. You had Freeman and Slightholme, so that's another two Northampton Saints wingers on the wings. So again, I think that helps with the sort of chemistry when you play Finn Smith. And his tackling is really underrated. He's quite a good defensive 10 as well.
Yeah, but do you think the combination, you'll probably have to switch it up against Scotland, because Scotland will definitely bombard Marcus Smith at that fullback position if you have Duan van der Merwe, Carl Steyn, and Blake Horn chasing down on that. All three of them great out of the air, right? Like it's going to be a different story, don't you think?
Yeah. I think it might be a sensible decision potentially to put Freddie Stewart back in that game at 15. It's been really interesting if you have Marcus or Finn Smith, because they've both had their battles at sort of the club game, and both have won games like as a sort of, Marcus v Finn and Finn v Finn. But yeah, I don't know who you go for. I'm honestly on the fence. I think Borthwick will stick with Marcus and go back to Marcus, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway, let's switch over to France quickly. Tiernan, how do you feel as an Irishman after watching that performance? Do you think it was just an off day at the office? Because, I mean, some of the brilliant players put in absolutely worldy stinkers. Like, I haven't seen those guys struggle that much in a very long time. Like, Aldry was either at 120% or like 10% during the game for me. DuPont really struggled, in my opinion. You look at, I hardly really saw Jalibert. Ramos was okay, to be fair. But then Bilberet was on and off for me. Peno, he left his hands at home. I don't know if I even saw the centers of the French. So
It's painful. Because when you put Biel Barry, Peno, Ramos, and Jalibert in your fantasy team, and they all have stinkers like that, I don't know. They failed me. The one time I actually want the French to do well,
they did score 3 tries.
World-class stinkers.
They scored 3 tries. Those 2 wingers.
True.
So
against England.
And they dropped about 7 more. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It was shocker. I don't know how they played so bad.
they dropped 1. Peno dropped
No,
1.
they dropped more than 1. DuPont
No, they
dropped 1. Peno dropped 2, I think. Biel Barry dropped another 1.
Mavaka dropped 1. If you look at that foot race that Ben Earl had with Louis Bilberet, bro, and Ramos just totally scuffs it. Right, he had all the field in the world to kick that ball into, and he literally scuffs that. That is like 4 tries in my mind that they completely missed.
And
Putting
I
Ramos
was
on the
predicting
team.
France to win by 20 because had they not dropped the balls, they actually would have won by that much.
That's why I went with them 29.
It was like, yeah.
Snipe cookie crumbles, guys.
Oh,
You got
how
your
much
predictions
class.
wrong. Own up to it.
Oh, Aiden is so smug about
You're
it.
so chuffed.
Aiden was on the piss, right? And he went back into the comments after that
He kept
If
me
you were
on
in
my
that
line.
video
I got it
comment, I'm
right.
sorry. I was not in the best mindset, and I was very happy to gloat.
He kept saying to everyone, "Shush your mush."
Bro. Crazy. Jimmy,
Yeah.
I'm going to come to you with the same as I asked for Tianan in terms of Ireland going up against them. Do you think this was just a one-off game, or do you think there was like some weaknesses that were exploited that you think Ireland can take advantages of as well?
I think we might be seeing a bit of a repeat of how France played last year in a way. I know we were just saying, oh yeah, didn't have DuPont last year and just wrote it off as that, but we could be seeing a bit of a trend here. And yeah, it has made me a lot more confident for France coming to Dublin, but we still can't underestimate them when they come to Dublin though. But yeah, it could have been an off day, but I think it does make me a lot more confident.
Well, it could be a scary thing going up against France now, where they are like feeling a bit hurt after that one, and they're like, okay, well, we need to go out and press now. So who's France playing next? Is it the Ireland game?
Italy.
It's Italy.
Italy. Okay. So they might be putting like 50 points on Italy. Just a little stamp of authority again, and then being ready. Imagine if it plays out actually like... Well, imagine it happens where Ireland beats England, England beats France, France beats Ireland. Imagine.
Who said that? Someone said that. I swear someone said. Oh, I said that.
No, I'm not saying
You
that.
said
I'm
that.
You're
saying-
so happy with yourself.
It's happening. It's happening.
Boys, I made the wild call in saying Jameson Gibson Park is going to be World Player of the Year. In my opinion, he got 2 Man of the Match performances in a row now in the Six Nations. He's been brilliant for Leinster.
Can
That
we,
is what you call
wait,
predictions.
Wait, before you move
Shut
on,
up, Dick.
you're going to try and segue it. Can we just say the one other thing that was a difference was that English back row, because all 3 of them were fantastic. And
Oh,
Tom
sorry, I thought
Curry
you were going
needs
to
a
mention the
mention.
fact he's Kiwi.
now Tom Curry needs a mention. Oh my god,
Yeah.
he was
True.
unbelievable.
The Tom Curry is shutting his critics up, to be fair.
Yeah, you. And then Tom Willis on debut at 8, moving Ben Earl to 7, which he is at.
Oh,
club
Ben Earl
Saracens.
was class, though.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
He's a
You
7th
can take-
pioneer, I guess.
It was like Tom Willis playing at 8 took the target off his back, and yeah, all 3 of them really complement each other.
yeah.
Sorry, Jake, I thought you were gonna-
Even Ben Curry, when he came on, he was sensational as well.
Mm.
But after Ben Curry comes on, I don't even know who's on the field. Who's doing what on the field? Just look exactly the same.
One of them has a headband, but that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Willis did
I
really
mean-
well. On fantasy too.
There's a stinker week
Anyway.
for fantasy, man. Let's not.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about fantasy anymore.
This was my second.
Yeah,
let's
Let's move on. And
I'm sorry, I just want to mention I did the best this week out of Ollie's, and I still had a stinker.
Yeah, I got my
Also-
prediction right, and I did the worst in the fantasy.
Also, Jake, I thought you were going to mention the fact that Jameson Gibson Park is Kiwi. I didn't realize you were going to talk about the English back row. Sorry.
Speaking about Kiwis, let's move on to Ireland v Scotland. There you go.
Yeah. Listen, I've been seeing this in my comment section a lot. A lot.
I don't
Townsend
really
has to go.
care. Oh, yeah.
Is that
Oh yeah, their waste. I think France and Scotland both have golden generations or whatever you want to call it, and they're both wasting with bad coaches.
Bro, but like for me, it caught me so off guard. I didn't hear this a year ago, but now people have been saying like they've been saying this for a long time or whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? Jake, do you want to keep Townsend there just because you want to win the Calcutta Cup? He's the guy that's keeping the Calcutta Cup away from you.
But they were definitely saying it a year ago. But yeah, I don't know. You know what? No, I'm going to be a bit different here. Like he should be doing better, but they don't have the team to win the Six Nations. I'm sorry. Like, sure, they should finish second or compete better, but they don't have the players, in my opinion, to win.
Well, this is all off the back of people saying like he hasn't won in 11 or 12 games against the Irish. But then I'm thinking like this is literally the golden era of Ireland that South Africa hasn't been able to beat. What we beat you once in 8-9 years now.
Yeah,
right?
Once in
So what do you
7 or 8
expect?
years. Yeah.
So what do you expect? Okay, well, to be fair, right? Like we play you a lot less than Scotland.
Yeah.
True.
But I mean, you look at the depth on the bench that came on yesterday for Ireland, and you look at what came on for Scotland, and I think there's a big gap there. The starting lineup is more close, but then I'm like, well, Ireland just absolutely dominated that game yesterday.
But the thing is, we dominated it from the start, though, as well.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna I saw the Scotland fans were confident. I even saw one video where someone did a combined 15, pick 9 Scots.
Oh, that's
and they get beat
who was
like
that
that.
Name dropping.
I
Don't name and shame.
I'm not name. I don't name and shame, but like I just saw that video and I was like, okay, you're very confident there, and look, you get smashed 38 points to 22 or whatever it was. Like, geez.
Could have been more as well,
and it definitely could have been more. 2
Definitely.
tries held up. Could have been in the 40s or 50s.
Could have been 50s easily.
Yeah, like that was a great Iron performance, right? And that's the best I think I've seen since France last year, where we just went out and we dominated from the kick.
I watched that game and it played out the way that I thought France versus England will play out, where Ireland just had all the answers for Scotland. Scotland had nowhere to go. They had nearly any attacking threat. To be fair, right, I'll give Scotland some credit in terms of they were clinical. Every time they got into the 22, they managed to get out with some points. Right, and they did pick up their game kind of a bit at the end. But this was Irish dominance from the start. And usually you see this thing where a team gets held up, the ball gets dropped out, maybe a knock on, and then the momentum starts swinging slowly and surely. But then, I mean, it is held up again, and still no foot off the gas, just keeps on attacking. Like this Irish system is just non-stop attack. Jake, you're shaking your head, but I'm sure you can't disagree with it.
No, I'm shaking my head because someone keeps walking past. Sorry.
Oh, okay. What did you think about the Irish performance yesterday?
I don't think it was that special. I don't think they really got second gear because Scotland didn't really push them that much. I think Finn Russell did have an effect coming off. I know you're not his biggest fan, but I think he has an impact on the kicking game and territory, and they could not get out their first half their half, sorry. And they didn't even get into the 22, the Irish 22, so they scored right in like the 41st minute. So I think that was a lot of unforced errors from Scotland in the first 20 minutes as well. Yeah.
Well, personally, I thought
like, why are people saying he's the best in the world? I have not seen that guy have a good game. I don't even know how long.
Now we're all jumping on the Russell bandwagon. But me and Casual have been saying this for bloody ages, and now you're joining in.
Yeah,
Jimmy, what were you about to say? Sorry, I don't think he's top 3. When does that guy?
So yes, I thought even Finn Russell, like Jake was talking about him there. But you see, for the 30 or so minutes that he was on, Prendergast had him on a leash. Like a 21-year-old kid had him on a leash.
This is true.
The so-called best fly half on the planet, who is Scotland's biggest liability, was on a leash by a lad literally just in his early 20s, making his first ever international game away from home.
Listen, we have to actually chat about that, right? Because there was so much shit being talked on young Prendergast last week, right? When Crowley came off the bench and whatever, and people were shitting on Prendergast. You have to give him credit for yesterday because he was pulling the strings. I wouldn't say he had Finn Russell on a leash because, I mean, Finn Russell hardly even had the ball because they got absolutely bummed. But the way that Prendergast played, to the extent where it was like, okay, Hugo Keenan's going off for Jack Crowley to come in and play fullback. right? This Prendergast just screams the same mold as Johnny Sexton. Now, I was never the biggest Johnny Sexton fan, but you can see it just fits the system so nicely. And with all the criticism that he got last week, and to bounce back with a performance like this, he wasn't my man of the match, to be fair. I would have given it to Jamison Gibson-Park because he was unreal. But I think that was a bit of a charity one, just because he played brilliantly and the shit that he got last weekend. Aiden, you nodding? You agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think Prendergast played unreal, like a massive step up from last week. For a young guy like that to come out and silence a lot of haters is super impressive. I agree. I think he was brilliant, but I just thought Gibson Park was like another level. And people are going to say it's because I'm a Kiwi. Yada. He created tries out of nothing. The try that that he chipped over that Hugo Keenan caught and they scored off the next phase. That was off a nothing play. Nothing was there, and he just makes something every time. A bit of magic, and your prediction for World Player of the Year, looks pretty good right now. I think
James Lowe was brilliant as well. Once again, another Kiwi standing up.
Yeah, Bundy was quiet. He gave me like 2 points in fantasy.
Oh, he was terrible.
Yeah, so not all
he was terrible.
But I think the key difference between Ireland and Scotland yesterday is how hard they had to work for points. Ireland felt like they only need to get 1 or 2 things right, and they scored points. For Scotland, it felt like they had to string together 5, 6, 7, 8 phases of good, solid play to get any points on the board. Like that 41st minute try, that was a long time coming. Whereas, as I said, Gibson Park, little chip over the top, Keenan catches it, 1 phase under the post. Like it was simple for them. So,
does
they're going to be
know what the hell happened there with? I know, obviously, our prayers go out to Darcy Graham, right? What a shitty day to not wear your scrum cap. Whether it would have made a difference or not, it just looks a bit bad, right? Finn Russell goes off. The commentator says he has passed the HIA, and then he doesn't come back on. Does anyone know why he didn't get back on? What is going on there?
He looked dazed,
There's
to
no
be
way
honest.
he didn't fail his HIA. The guy didn't look didn't know.
I
What
think
he
he
was
different planet.
tests. I think they passed him, then they put him back in the tunnel, and then he came back out again and didn't come back on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Pulp Fiction,
the commentators got the comms to say, listen, he did pass it. He's going to come back onto the field. And then he stands next to the field with the jacket on and just chilling.
Yeah, it was strange.
I know. I did see some bad to say they just didn't put him back on because they thought it was.
It's something like he wasn't remembering plays or something. That's what they said officially.
Of course he wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't really look with it very much.
Yeah. Anyway.
Can I circle back to this
get
bullshit?
owned by Prendergast again.
This bullshit Prendergast Russell thing. I'm not having this. Sorry. So you got probably the best pack in the world, the Irish pack, who give you go forward ball all the time, and they pressured the Scottish thing compared to a poor Scottish pack who did not pressure Prendergast at all. Of course, Finn Russell was always going to struggle more internationally when you're going up against the Springbok pack or the Irish pack. You swap Prendergast and Finn Russell, it's
Prendergast still comes out on top.
Oh, there we go.
I'm not saying Finn Russell is terrible, right? But Prendergast obviously had a better game than Russell, right? And I thought Tom Jordan looked better in that 10 jersey than Finn Russell did when he was on the field.
I'm sorry, we're acting like Scotland don't have a pack here. We praised them last week for having the best defense in the Six Nations or something.
Yeah.
One years we're saying that.
Defense and
It's
set
It's
piece
not like Finn Russell's playing behind nobody. He's always got a pretty good pack.
None of the Scottish players, maybe Van Zander Faison, getting that Irish forwards.
No, but at
Yeah,
the same
might as
time,
well.
they're not terrible,
Yeah, but if you
Not
did look,
not
if you
one of
look
them
at
getting the
set
Irish
piece,
pack, but at the same time.
set piece for the Irish is miles stronger. They they had a scrum in the first 10 minutes where they bulldozed the Scottish scrum.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's Andrew Porter and Finlay Beam, two of the worst scrummaging props that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Porter is not a bad scrummager. Refs
Porter
just hate
is
him.
the most penalised scrummager
They've
ever.
stepped up their game this
because
year
refs hate him.
100%.
The guy's a good scrummager. The amount of times the
That's
opposition goes
coke,
down
Tennant.
for
I
him,
won't
he
have
still
it. That's
gets
just
penalised.
coke.
That's ridiculous.
If he gets penalised by every ref, he's a bad scrummager.
It's an agenda.
No,
Not-
he was
not-
he turned
not
into a
bullshit.
winger for a couple of seconds yesterday. He was near going to score a try from a little charge down.
Yeah, bro, that was Hornswoggle. You won't convince me. Put white hair on that guy. That's Hornswoggle. He looks so funny while doing that. Listen, Andrew Porter's a great player, but he's a shit scrummager. Like that. It's the basic crux of it all. It is what it is. Finley BM, I don't know what that guy does in an Irish jersey, but holy shit, he scrum yesterday. I did not expect it. Like, he's probably the smallest prop that I've ever seen. So, I mean,
Yeah, there was a
it
lot
is what it
of
is.
talk. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about him not even being test fit. Like he's not even like a test quality prop before the Six Nations because he had such a poor autumn, and now he's had two great performances against England and Scotland. So I think he's really stepped up his game recently. Finley Bealham.
How far out is Furlong? I thought it was just a couple games.
No, I think it's
It's tough to tell because he's been injured quite a lot recently.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, I really
To be
don't
fair,
know.
he's not
'Cause
been
he
on
was going to
form
play
in a
against
very
England,
long
and he
time.
didn't.
He's not been
So
on form
maybe-
anyway. So,
Yeah,
agree.
true.
We mentioned the
Still,
Southern
he's
Hemisphere
Clive Furlong
refs.
though. He's by a distance the best.
The Southern
What did you
Hemisphere
say,
refs
Joe?
stinking it up.
like who?
That bloody Dolman had a terrible game in that Scotland Ireland game.
Okay, you said that with a lot of sass. I mean, even your
Same as
Nick
Ben
Woodward.
O'Keefe last week. The Super Rugby refs being rubbish.
But
You know it's
what's the
true.
reasoning? What was the reasoning? What made them shit?
Just some dodgy call, like the Henshaw knockdown. That's an easier penalty.
No, it wasn't. Oh my god.
Yes, it is.
Who got shoved? Calvin Nash got shoved by.
Van der Merwe. That was a
Van der
disgrace.
Merwe,
That was
yeah. That one was
disgraceful
right,
from
though.
Van der Merwe.
That
Boys,
That was a right
before you
call,
even go to
and
that,
there's
the
another
ball
one.
was out. So if you want to say anything, the ball
I
was
know
out.
if he
There's a
didn't
line
kick
out.
it, it would have been a
That's the
penalty
call.
try. So if he
It's
didn't
not
go
a
for the little
penalty
kick,
try.
it would have been. If he didn't
Oh, but
kick
like,
it, like it didn't go
It
to
was
the left, it would
ridiculous.
have been a
Like the
penalty
ball
try.
went
but-
ball went that way. Man runs this way straight into Nash. Like, it was just stupid.
Yeah, if he kicked the ball just straight ahead of him, it would have been a penalty try.
I don't think Nash
ball
should have
didn't
run
go
into Van
out.
der Merwe. Like, what was Nash thinking? He shouldn't have done that.
Oh, Jake, you just sound like a stupid person.
Oh, I don't know why
He's
we're
doing that on purpose, just
Still,
playing devil's advocate on something as stupid as that. Anyway, let's move on. Wales, another defeat. They haven't won since the World Cup,
It's crazy.
unless you're counting a game against the Reds.
Yeah, count it.
The Reds, yeah.
Count it.
Bro, they
If I
haven't
was
won
the
since
Reds.
2023 World Cup group stages.
Well, yeah.
They
What
have
about Australia?
When
officially
do they get
gone-
their next win? That's my question.
They've
When do they
officially
get it?
gone lower than Georgia, 12th, the lowest that they've ever been. By the way, England has got the Rayburn Shield now. We forgot to even mention that. But I mean,
Jake hates that award, so he doesn't care.
yeah, he doesn't.
I think it's
Okay.
cool.
I think it's cool, but now that
12th
England
place
have won it.
for
Yeah.
Wales. I mean, Aiden, no, let's go Jake, because Jake likes Wales. Jake, what's next for Wales?
Probably a 60-0 loss to Ireland at home. That's what's next to Wales. I don't know.
Do you actually believe that?
Yeah.
I
They
believe
don't get. They lose by
40
more than
at least.
40. Don't know. Do you think?
We're gonna run through them, like If they
Yeah.
the pack can play, if we can play like we did on Sunday, they're getting
I spoke to Brevan, right, and he came out and he said, or well, someone said, some Welsh ex-rugby player said that Ospreys or Cardiff or Scarlets, whoever, currently can beat this Welsh team. That just tells you the state of. That tells you what Gatland's doing in terms of not picking form players. Cam Winnett and Max Llewellyn's probably sitting there and thinking, "Thank fuck, I'm not part of that shithousery."
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah. They've got what 2 teams in the playoffs for the URC at the minute. Like they're
Yeah.
doing pretty well like, at a club level at the minute, which no one really expected. But those players who are doing that for them aren't really getting picked. It's just Gatland
Exactly.
just doesn't care anymore. He's
He
like, get me
He
out of
needs to
here.
go. What's he done? What has he done? He hasn't 2 lines towards he coached. Was it 3? Didn't win
Yeah,
either.
he was. I
well,
didn't
well,
like.
so-
He's
few of them.
driven this way. He's not. Doesn't care. He's not picking the
No.
form Welsh players. So that
You
he
can't-
might
you can't
win
say
the
his
test match.
history-
Shoot down his entire career. His career
He's
has
been one of the
decent.
greatest Northern Hemisphere coaches ever. It's just he sucks now. Like, don't the rest of his career, leave that alone. Don't touch
I think
it.
he was bad for the
Oh, well,
Lions.
fair enough. He did have success in the Six Nations and stuff, but
But for the
what's
Lions,
he doing
no.
to this Welsh team? I've never seen less forward direction in a coach who cares about rebuilding the team. He doesn't care.
Bro,
He just
the
sitting
thing
there
is,
getting
like,
paid.
this is the epitome of living long enough to see yourself become the villain. This is literally the epitome of it. I mean, you think about it. 4 years ago, they won a Grand Slam. 3 years ago, whatever, 4 years ago, won a Grand Slam in the Six Nations. 2 years ago, they made it to a World Cup quarterfinal, right? Playing so much better rugby. You look at it from 2019, playing in a semi-final, arguably should have beat South Africa and played in a World Cup final. And you look at where they are now. It is
Awful
mind-boggling to actually witness this.
I still didn't think they were that. They did have a really good team from that like the 2020 stretch.
I don't think they have a shitty team
now.
now.
I think Gatton's an overrated coach. Not the best Northern Hemisphere coach ever.
I said one of. You can't use the Lions excuse that he never won a Lions tour.
Oh, he was terrible. He
beat Australia.
For the Lions.
You've won like 2 Lions tours ever. Like, it's not like it's a common thing for those guys to win.
Well, they're going to win this year.
Yeah, the last time you won a Lions tour was in Australia.
Yeah, it was in Australia 2013. We're back there now.
Well, Australia were pretty good there then. Like, they were like, what, ranked second?
Yeah, that was the Israel Folau.
I'm just annoyed. I'm just really annoyed he didn't pick Johnny Sexton. That kind of.
Yeah, me too. And he picked the young Marcus Smith over Johnny Sexton, which I cannot get my head around.
Well, he played Dan Bigger, so
yeah, it does.
Yeah, Dan Bigger
and Finn Russell.
Yeah, that's the two he played. And Farrell at inside centre. Can you believe it? Imagine that team. Dan Bigger and Owen Farrell. Holy shit! Where's your forward momentum?
Oh my god!
No wonder we lost.
That's in that team now.
What are you saying, Jake?
They're great. Don't give it the short-term memory of you people. Man.
We lost the series.
Both of them are fine as 10s, but that as a combination of your 10 and your inside centre, it's disgusting.
Owen Farrell been playing at 12 for like 5 years at that point and got to
but he was never good at 12. Don't start. He was never good at 12.
I don't have the energy.
When do Wales get their next Test match win? Because here they're playing in the summer.
I don't know.
Japan.
They're playing
I think they go down to the Pacific Islands, don't they?
They're playing Japan because they're going to lose to Japan.
Go to the Pacific Islands, I think.
Interesting discussion. Would they beat Japan?
They will not beat Japan. They would not beat Georgia. They probably not beat Samoa and Tonga. Will not beat Fiji.
They will
Ultimate
beat
Rugby Europe
Samoa and
Championship.
Tonga. Let's not be ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah,
Samoa, they definitely beat Tonga now, but Samoa can't put up good performances. Back at the World Cup there, nearly beat us before.
Are we just writing off Wales instead of giving Italy some credit that they actually won that game?
Oh, yeah.
Italy weren't good. Italy left so much points out there.
Yeah, and the
They
kick,
should have won
which
by a lot
absolutely
more than they did.
Yeah, but
destroyed
you
the fantasy.
wanted to give Rain the excuse in that France versus England game. Don't you think the rain affected that game?
Oh, yeah,
as well?
definitely. The quality of the game was just terrible with the rain. Like, they just
It
weren't
always
going for
rains in
tries. It was just a
Wales.
kicking game, really.
They should be used to that. The Welsh should have loved the
pigeons
rain.
on the pitch. Why is there always so many
I know,
think the
it's
thing
mad
is,
how the
though-
Italians were more used to it than the Welsh.
It
I did.
wasn't like the rain had to affect the game. Italy took it in their own hands. Like, we're just going to send up a load of high balls and go for the posts. So, yeah, I think it's the Italian tactics. But to be fair, it worked 100% brilliantly because the Welsh kept dropping the ball and knocking it on. And the Italian, back three, Caporzo, Allen, Iwani were winning everything. So it's a perfect game plan.
Did you guys for a second think Wales could go up and draw the game when they scored those 2 tries at the end, needing to go all the way?
Don't know.
No?
I didn't feel confident.
It was really never
Okay.
for Italy, I don't think. But
We've seen Benetton against La Rochelle and Italy last year against Scotland. They managed to close out those situations. They got pretty good defence mostly.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, Wales had hardly any forward momentum when they had the ball. They're needing to score that final 7 points, right? They just got absolutely cooked. Anyway, so we're going into a bye weekend now. Do we think actually that this bye weekend stuns the momentum of England
Yeah,
leading up into that Kolkata Cup? Because it's
I hate this break.
I mean, it's
you finally got that victory. Now the team's now the country's backing you, but now it's a weekend off. So it stuns them. Takes back a
break.
break.
It
Breaks is
stuns the
terrible.
whole momentum of the Six Nations.
Yeah.
It does it every week, every year. We do not need 2 rest weekends. It is a joke.
Yeah, play 3 and
It's
then
like-
play 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Like, round 3
play
is
5 in a row.
terrible.
That is a bit much. But
Yeah, 5 in a row would be too much. But if like that round 3 where it's like a break before and then a break right after it, it's just insane. Like
We've
two
Wales.
rounds.
We've got Wales. Like
I know we've got Wales,
Last
but
year,
I mean in
we had
general.
Wales last year as well.
Tim,
Like
Yeah.
this gap
would you
of-
say that playing Wales is more of a rest weekend than the rest weekend?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's just another training session, really, isn't it? Like,
Oh,
Bro,
mate.
what? So Ireland's got 3 weeks off. So
Yeah, we've got 3 weeks off now. We're on a
why do they do that? Why is there 2 breaks? Like, is
But
there a
it's
reason
terrible.
behind
Like,
it? Is it to keep the franchise rugby moving, or what is that?
Probably.
probably,
Might be,
yeah,
yeah.
but they need it
like, do
for
1 week,
the sake
do
of the
3
championship.
weeks, then 2 weeks.
Bro,
'Cause
what-
it
what's
kills
bar-
momentum, right? So there's a lot of casuals that watch the Six Nations, and now suddenly there's no games this weekend. And
Then
they might
it's
forget about it.
like,
Watch
Yeah.
Bath actually request Finn Russell to play.
are they allowed? Can they, yeah,
Bro.
they might do.
That's crazy. Anyway, that wraps it up. Everyone, thank you for watching.
I
Boys,
just
thank you
want
for
to
joining.
say, I'm going to offer you the opportunity if you want to talk about 4 teams that have qualified for the World Cup in Australia, or you're not that bothered.
We got
Yeah,
3
go for
years for that. No, wait, okay.
What's that?
Go for it.
We-
Say it.
We can do it in a separate video if you want, but
Yeah, well, there's going to be no fan forum next week unless we have some news that we want to chat about.
well, 4 teams qualified for the World Cup.
Want to
Okay.
find out which teams? Tune in
Join
next
in,
week
yeah.
for the fan
Yeah.
forum here on Casual Bias Rugby. There you go.
Yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. We do
Definitely.
appreciate you guys. Go to all of these guys on TikTok, YouTube, wherever. Jake's pumping out YouTube videos these days, so go and watch that. We do appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.